We brought you this story yesterday, and now supermarket giant Woolworths have apologized after backtracking on their Australia Day merchandise blackout. Now, this all comes around the preparation for the Paris Olympics, and Woolies said, "Oh, yeah, we got the Olympics going on. We'll now sell some national flags, green and gold cupcakes, donuts, and a smash cake, whatever that is, with $1 off every product supporting Paralympics Australia." Lovely stuff, and they said that we acknowledge that we disappointed many of you and our other customers when we decided not to sell Australian-themed merchandise in January this year. I note, though, Henry, they didn't say Australia Day. They said in January this year. Like they can't even bring themselves to say the words. What do you make of this backflip? Is this just all about trying to get Peter Dutton not to break him up?
That may be part of it, James. That may be part of it. I did also note the omission of the words Australia Day from their statement. And as the proponent of my Australia Day bill to ensure we keep the day on the 26th of January, I was disappointed to see that. But also they acknowledged the Australian flag not as our flag, but as the symbol of the Australian Olympic team. And I thought, OK, that's odd. It's also the symbol of our nation. Isn't that worth celebrating? Why are you only bringing it in at this point in time? Look, I welcome their backflip. I think it's long overdue. But I hope that as we creep around to Australia Day next year, I'm not going to just see green and gold cupcakes, but I want the full Australian paraphernalia. I want all the bunting to be able to purchase to take over to my place for my barbecue.
Yeah, but I mean, Freya, it's really amazing to me. We are in July, so Australia Day is like 5-6 months away, and we are already having this debate. Isn't there a huge problem here when corporates like Woolworths and all these other companies, they keep trying to just, dial things around in the culture according to their own kind of C-suite ethics, which are very lefty, very woke, and all of that, rather than just giving people what they want. Amazing.
I know, right? I mean, that's the thing, is a private company, ultimately they can do whatever they want. And if they want to boycott Australia Day, they can do that. But wading into culture war territory from the comfy couches of your multi-billion-dollar company executive office, I don't think that's a smart thing to do. And I think they're realizing it puts you into a tough position, and they're backtracking. And I think what we do know about Australia is they don't want elites trying to change our culture by stealth.
Yeah.
If we are going to have a conversation about changing the date, then that should be in the open and driven by the public. It shouldn't be driven by people sitting in C-suite offices, like you said.
Well, and I was going to get to the Queensland crime crisis in a minute with Henry, but I want to just follow up with this for you because, you're at the Menzies Research Centre. There's a lot of talk about social cohesion and, how we come together as a nation. And I know Australia Day is a symbolic thing, but is it a damaging thing if we don't have any sort of uniting symbols or days that we can just get together around rather than having this horrible, torturous conversation, God help us, every year?
I know. Well, it's part of what makes a country a nation rather than just a state. You can be a state where people all happen to live together, or a dormitory. You happen to live in the same place at the same time. But that doesn't make you a nation. You're a nation when you have shared stories and values that bind you together into one people. Mm-hmm. As we lose symbol after symbol, day after day, tradition after tradition, we undermine that nationhood, and Australia starts to be reduced to a country, a state, but not a nation of unified people. And that is a real risk, and I think that's something we should fight against.
That is very, very well said.